Hey, this is Intercactus. So, I was on Discord the other day, asking about what Everest and what option for that local yokai video uploaded yesterday, and some guy, let me check actually who was it. I think it was AJ, your man with the Flamarice profile picture. I have a look now in a second. Where is it? Yeah, he says fire is like the most difficult element for be buffed. Sorry. So he says it's hard to buff fire. So in my fury, I decided to make this team to prove him wrong. So this is a really gimmicky team, but I've seen some success with it. So you've been looking at this fish for the first minute of the video and you're probably wondering, Cactus, why are you using Tunatic when you could be using Flengus? Well, first off, Tunatic is funny. He's really funny. Ragin, the yellow one, is not very good in competitive. Well, actually, he might be. I don't know. I haven't tried him. But from the looks of things, he isn't great because skill is kind of wasted. But I really think Tunatic can work. Because the thing with Flengus is that he has to hold Typhoon Fan to be as good as he can be. So basically, he gets great stats in exchange for his item slot. Does that sound familiar? Wicked yokai. So I like Tunatic because he has Fireplay and he has Great Spirit, and we can use an item with him. So I've decided to use Squandeer Soul, but you can use any soul to boost Spirit and Center Tile. Stuff like Mython and Shriek Soul also works. So it's just an extra 20% onto his Spirit when he's standing there. So I'll tell you why he's standing here when you get to the other yokai. So now we have our boosters. We got Tunatic just generally being a good booster, and then these two Rhyolites aren't really going to come out. They're just here because they have Fireplay in their low rank. And then Jimikoma, he's going to be subbed, but he's going to be subbed until Bitter Batter does his thing, which we'll get to in a second. So Jimikoma is just going to stay. I'll explain more about it when we actually come to his bit. So Bitter Batter is going to be our big damage dealer. He's got good spirit, he got fine spirit, but what we really like is hazards and just generally everything. So basically our game plan is we keep Bitter Batter out in front until this item activates. He gets to 1 HP, so we can draw the maximum amount of time we can with him as a tank, and then we move him here, move Tunatic to the middle, move Jimikoma up here, and then switch him out for Shrook. Now Shrook is not my first choice for the tank, if I'm being honest. I had a lot of different ideas. I had like SV Snaggerjag and even Ragin in my head, but I decided to land Shrook because A, he resists water, so it could be helpful since this whole team is weak to water, I think. Yeah. So this whole team is weak to water, so he can take those decently well. And I like that he can heal himself with this. And his skill's pretty nice. He can do some passive damage to anything that hits him. So just an extra bit of damage on top of the already insane damage we'll do with Bitter Batter and Tunatic. So basically what's going to happen, and I'm about to go, I'll show it off better when I go into the battle, but we don't bring out Jibikoma for the rest of the battle. We have him sitting here doing strong incinerates because he has a mythical ring and same spirit as Tunatic, well almost same spirit. So Tunatic's going to have a better spirit when he's in there anyway, but Jibikoma is just going to be spamming incinerates the whole time. And when we have to move Bitter Batter to the back, we're just going to sub him and bring out Shrook. And then these three are going to do some solid in-game damage. So if my Shrook dies, I'll probably bring in one of the Rays first and then Jimikoma. But if everyone dies, then these three should be able to clean up at the end. So yeah, I think I've said enough. Let's just get into the battles. Gotta save. And okay. Okay, so reverse that should be the quickest kill. Okay, already down to half. Oh, okay, let's take the opportunity while I have it. And then see that achievement comment. That was a very fast kill. Ruban is weak to fire. Oh, but why no, that's gonna be really annoying, so I kinda wanna get rid of her first. Nice. Wasn't even a crit. It's just good, straight good damage. Okay, I'll use my time on the better stuff mode. So we should just be staying like this for the rest of the game, unless Shrook dies, which will probably happen. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move Shrook like this. I'm gonna have you take all of those and we're doing a tick there. Should be fine. Robocom is gonna die pretty soon anyway, so. Oh, okay. Oh, this also for an hour. Or back 2 euros. Okay, so that was actually a pretty quick battle. Well, it's quick compared to what I've been used to with the 5-minute battles of the local yoga team, but that was like a 2-minute battle, so pretty damn good. So overall, it's a 40% boost to my fire damage. And so Bitter Brother's our main attacker. Tunic is just there for moral support, really. But you saw he can do some pretty brilliant damage if he's sitting in the middle. And then I actually like Shrook a lot as a tank. I wouldn't have thought about him, but I saw that Japanese YouTuber use him, and I got inspired. And it was actually a really fun tank. And he lets us finish the Slippery Unity while being able to use Jibakoma and have a decent tank. So it's pretty cool overall. I'd say if you don't really mind your if you don't really mind dropping Jibakoma for maybe another Rail Light, you could run something like a Mython or SV Snaggerjag if you're that kind of guy. I was intent on using SV Snaggerjag, but I decided I'd rather use Jibakoma and another tank, and I decided on Shrook because, well, Shrook stats are actually pretty good. I might make a video on him, just generally. This might give me a good opportunity to talk about kind of bounce back damage. He's got really good HP, really good defense for a B rank tank, and pretty good spirit, so we can make use of his feeding frenzy. So I think he's actually a great tank that not a lot of people consider. So yeah, use Shrook. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. Consider Shrook sometimes. And Tunitic's actually pretty good with a Squandeer Soul. So you could also use something like a Mythical Ring if you want. I wouldn't, but you could. Those are my only two considerations, because like I don't really like using Red Rush. It feels just too inconsistent. Unless I'm using it on something like Benkei or Snartle, or like something with an effect that triggers when you get a KO. So this is probably the best thing you can use, because it is a nice, really nice boost. I do prefer that kind of effect over Mythical Ring, because this is 20% boost, while that's just a plus 65. So in some cases the mythical ring would be better, but in some cases Squander Soul would be better. And Squander Soul is like, it's kind of hard to use because you have to have him in the middle all the time. So you have to kind of play around it, which is fine, but a bit annoying sometimes. So, because you saw I had to move Shrook to get the life orbs, and then Bitter Batter to get the spirit orbs, and I had to just move two and take along with them. I was considering switching him out for Jibakoma, but Genetic is still going to do more damage than Jibakoma. They probably do about the same, but he's got one extra spirit, so I thought why not? Why switch him out at that point? So, yeah, overall, I'm actually really happy with this team. It's one of my favourite teams I've ever made. So, I'm definitely going to build this on cart, so I can actually use it, and not in the fucking sports center. So, it should be fun. I would highly recommend building this and maybe putting your own twist on it. So if you do, if you use anything different, because Flengus could definitely work here as well. I just personally prefer Tunatic, because I like the extra spirit and the fire, and only being A rank. Even though it doesn't really matter on this team because there's no other S ranks, so you could totally use him. And I also considered Forget Me Not for a tank instead of Shrook, because he's slippery, he's got waterproof, which kind of goes back to my reasoning of he resists water. So the first thing I was looking for was something with either waterproof or waterworks. So I tried everything really. I looked at Snaggerjag, I looked at Sweatus, Forget Me Not, Region, and none of them, they all seem pretty appealing. But then I realised, why bother? You know, because there's like, when you're really gonna see water damage that much, like is it such a big threat? Like I can get, I should probably stop doing that. I think the mic's picking that up. There's a little bin next to my desk, and it's got one of those swingy lids like a cat flap, and I've just been knocking it around with my foot. So anyway, what was I on about? Shit, I forgot. No, it was about niches, because like electric is a really common attack, or lightning, sorry, is a really common attacking element. So like a lot of the best magic attackers, like Hinazol, both Hinazols, Static King, Coma Star, like they're all top tier and they're all lightning. So something like Frazzle is more useful because you can actually take the lightning damage really well. And I would have assumed it would have been the same for Snaggerjag and water, and it is, but water is a lot less common. Like, it's not as universal as what's it called, lightning is. So you're not going to see a water attacker every game. You're not going to see them in very many games. Like maybe outside of the basic BMW Originian, maybe like 10 to 20% of your games you'll see a water attacker. Maybe even 5%, 5 to 10%, 5 to 15% I'll say, you see a water attacker. So I don't know. They're good tanks, but I think for this team, Shrook is the best, and I will definitely be considering him in the future. So yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. So thanks for watching. Have a good day. Use Shrook.